Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It is July 12th, 2024. We had a fire start yesterday in between the second and third bench lake. It started out as 2 acre fire, likely from a campfire since there was no lightning in the area. That quickly spread to 40 acres and possibly more at this point. It sounds like there was a helicopter crash. I had heard it was into the first lake, but that doesn't make much sense to me unless they were just happened to be flying over it and had some malfunctions. But we haven't heard too much more from the Forest Service. They're probably doing a lot of investigation. Let's get into the nitty gritty though. So this is some information from Wildcat that the dispatch for the fire currently showing 40 acres. But let's take a look at some other resources. So this is NASA firms. This shows hotspots across the U.S. and I don't remember when this was last taken. But this is where the second lake is right here. Bench Hut you could barely make out right here. This is about, measures it in pixel blocks too, so this is probably going to be maybe bigger. About 186 acres it looks like right now, and it kind of spread more to the southeast. So I want to pull up another thing that might be easier to look at. This is Google Earth. I drew this polygon, so this is not confirmed. This is just based off of satellite hotspots. But you can see Bench Hut is down here. The fire was reported at this pin here in between the second and third lake. The third lake is pretty small. Likely a campfire. We had pretty strong west winds yesterday, gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour. We had a red flag warning in effect. Those winds shifted to the northwest slightly, and I think that's why it started to overtake the moraine that's right here. For those of you that skied at Bench Hut, this is the Crapper Slope right above, and it is super dry out there. So they evacuated the campground that was at the inlet here. They also, I heard, evacuated the lodge. That I can't really confirm, but they definitely would have evacuated this inlet because that was in direct line of fire. So this happened yesterday around 12:30. The helicopter crash, I think, don't quote me on it, was I think around 4:30. They stopped all air support at that time, and I heard that they're going to bring in some water scoopers, which pull up a video of them scooping. This was a few years ago when I was on Redfish Lake, scooping out some water to put on a fire that was about 20 miles away from here. So pretty cool. If we do get some scoopers on scene, Redfish is right there. They should knock that thing out fairly quick. It did pick up quite a bit though from last night. All right, let's look at some other stuff. So these are 700 millibar winds. You can see there's some pretty gusty winds that came through there yesterday, or early this morning, I should say, a little after midnight. So that probably started that fire and pushed it more towards Redfish and Bench Hut, with the winds shifting to the northwest. Now today it's going to shift back to the southwest. That should hopefully spare Bench Hut from getting hit, especially with some air support. And then we're going to be shifting back tonight to the west, and the winds are going to pick up again. So hopefully they get a pretty good handle on that fire, as it's pretty deadly close to Bench Hut. This is just looking at some local winds on Windy app. You can see kind of It's going to be shifting towards the southwest again throughout the day and increase. It's those longer throws. And then around 5 o'clock, it's going to shift back to the west, which would push it towards the lake again. Lots of dry timber up there. Hopefully they get a handle on this thing. This is currently what's going on. Doesn't look like there's any large plumes, so that's good. The wind's probably died down, but you can still see fire smoke up there. Looking from Stanley, that smoke has settled into the valley floor with that inversion last night. Cool air sinks as well as the fire smoke. But it's going to be another hot day and windy, so we'll just kind of keep an eye on that as the day progresses. And I'll do a separate video on the weather.